China's economy is plummeting, with unemployment, bankruptcy, and unpaid wages widespread. Local governments are saddled with huge debts. Big cities like Shanghai, Guangzhou, and Tianjin are filled with homeless people sleeping on the streets at night. If you walk around China's once magnificent major cities at night, it is not difficult to see unemployed workers sleeping in rows on the streets, bus stations, and subway stations. Many families, whose parents are unemployed and have no money to pay living expenses, have to sleep on the streets. Many single mothers with small children live homeless at train stations, scenes that have never been seen before in China. Not only immigrant workers and the unskilled working class, but even highly skilled technical workers and office workers are also facing widespread unemployment. There are many complaints about layoffs, unemployment, and the inability to find jobs. They are all facing the pressure of mortgages, home loans, car loans, children's education, and parent retirement, but they don't know what to do. Middle-aged people in Zhengzhou, colleagues were laid off and shed bitter tears. The blogger Xi'an's working life, who works in Zhengzhou, Henan, recently said that he posted a video on his social media to talk about unemployment, and he didn't expect it to resonate with many people. His words touched the hearts of many. He said that his company had laid off employees. A few days ago, he had a meal with a colleague who was laid off. The colleague said many things with tears and snot. "My heart is also sour, especially bad taste." The blogger said that his colleague was a little older than him, and his hometown was also in the countryside. He has a child. He has a mortgage of more than 4,000 yuan RMB every month, plus a car loan of 1,600 yuan. He said that he never thought he would be laid off by the company, so he didn't save his money. When he was called to the office on the day of the layoff, he said he was scared. When he went home and told his wife about his layoff, he lowered his head and wanted to cry but couldn't. He said that during the meal, his colleague drank a lot of wine and started crying while drinking. He said that the 25th of every month is the day to pay the mortgage, and he had just paid the car loan a few days ago. If he can't find a job, he doesn't know what to do next month. The colleague recently submitted about 20 resumes, but so far there has been no response. Xi'an middle-aged people are unemployed and at a loss. The Xi'an self-media person, Xi'an Mama, said that her husband is unemployed. The resignation procedures were completed in early July. Middle-aged unemployment is really terrible. Her husband was born in the 1980s and has been living in Kunming for 11 years. He worked in his previous company for 10 years and 9 months, and in the new company for 3 months, but he was ultimately unable to escape the wave of unemployment. She said, "Without a source of income at home, we are really at a loss." When people reach middle age, they have elderly parents and children to support, as well as the pressure of rent and living expenses. The employment environment has not been good in the past 2 years, and companies of all sizes are laying off employees. "I heard that many companies in Kunming have closed down in the first half of the year." She said that they have 2 children, and if her husband loses his job, they may end their wandering life in Kunming and return to Chujing. Shandong University graduating students, unemployed after graduation, collapsed. Shandong blogger Happy Leaf is a university graduate this year. She recently said that it has been more than a month since she got her diploma in mid-July. "I found out after graduating from university that college students are really everywhere in today's society." She submits her resume on recruitment software almost every day, but receives very few replies. Every day is spent in self-doubt, depression, anxiety, and despair. 5 of the 7 people in the university dormitory are now unemployed. The current actual mainland youth unemployment rate is up to 60 to 70%. "I am really broken. Are college students without family backgrounds really unemployed after graduation? I feel really powerless after graduating from college," she said. According to the 2024 College Student Employment Survey report released by China Xi'an. As of mid-April, only 48% of graduates received informal employment notices, which is worse than last year. The statistics for the 2024 graduates of Guangdong University of Technology show that the employment rate is only 41%, which means that 60% of graduates have no jobs. Among them, the employment rate of the School of Architecture and Urban Planning is only 9% due to the sluggish real estate market. Really out of money? Beijing also forces people to return unemployment benefits. Shenzhen City, Guangdong Province, requires a large number of people to return the unemployment benefits they have already received, attracting public attention. According to online news, many people in Beijing have also been asked to return unemployment benefits. Netizens are saying it seems that the government is really short of money. Recently, the media reported that the number of people receiving unemployment benefits in Shenzhen has continued to increase, and the Unemployment Insurance Fund has been unable to make ends meet. Since last year, the authorities have begun to publish lists requiring citizens to return the unemployment benefits they had received, claiming they do not meet the conditions. On social media, many Beijing netizens have also revealed that their unemployment benefits have been suspended or even recovered. As early as March 14 this year, Beijing blogger Nana revealed that she received unemployment benefits after being laid off by her company, but unexpectedly received a text message from the Social Security Bureau stating that the unemployment benefits she had received were illegal and had to be returned. She said that she had received unemployment benefits for a total of 10 months since April last year, amounting to more than 20,000 yuan, RMB, and was forced to return all of them. She said, "I searched a lot of people on Douyin, and they also said that they were asked to return the unemployment benefits. If they didn't return it, they were afraid it would affect their credit, etc." She also sighed. "It seems that the finance department has no money." Beijing blogger Big Cater Talks About Social Security also said that many people were notified to return unemployment insurance within a time limit, and the amount was nearly 25,000 yuan. If they don't return it on time, they will be submitted to the court and listed as dishonest persons. She said that some people are now unemployed and have no source of income. They can't come up with this money, so they can only verify and resolve it with the local Social Security Department. In addition, a netizen named Xi'an from Hefei City, Anhui Province, also revealed that she was asked to return more than 20,000 yuan in unemployment benefits. Unemployment rate is high and theft is rampant. Hundreds of private cars in Xi'an had their windows smashed. The Chinese mainland economy continues to decline. The unemployment rate among young people is getting higher, and social problems are emerging one after another. Recently, hundreds of vehicles in multiple communities in Jinan, Shandong, had their windows smashed. Insiders revealed that a gang of young people broke the windows to steal property. On July 19, a video circulated online showing that on a road in Jinan, Shandong, all the vehicles parked on both sides had their windows smashed, with glass shattered all over the ground. The netizen who recorded the video said, "It can be seen that the economic situation is tense. Theft is getting more and more intense. From the bottom to the top, all the cars have been smashed, and there is not a single one left. Now the business performance is not good. The labor force is all over the streets, and the theft will increase. Everyone must pay attention to safety." The police said that more than 100 cars were smashed in total. On July 18, according to the Qilu 1 Point report of Qilu Evening News, the incident happened at Jinan Yard community in Jinan High-Tech Zone and several surrounding communities such as Greentown Magnolia Garden and Park Hyatt Mansion. The incident occurred around the evening of July 15. According to the report, from the surveillance footage, at least 3 people were involved in smashing cars, aged around 20. After breaking the glass of the car windows, they stole valuables from the cars. Informed netizens said, "It was Magnolia Garden, Wutong County, Park Hyatt Mansion, Jinan Yard, and other communities, with a total of more than 100 cars smashed." The owner of a damaged vehicle posted that the thieves stole everything, even the mobile phone holder and footpads. In the end, even a few cents of coins were not spared. In addition to Jinan, similar incidents have also occurred in Jining and Weishan, Shandong, where not only windows were smashed, but cars were also stolen. The car thieves in Linyi are also minors. Netizens lamented, "Poor people are crazy. There are indeed many people who can't make money, and all kinds of things will happen. It can be seen that life is difficult. When life was better in the past few years, there were fewer such things. This is back to before 2000. The unemployment rate is so high, young people have no jobs. Is it starting now?" Another netizen revealed that after her car was smashed, the police not only ignored it, but also restricted her from posting videos to expose it. "Last year, my car glass was smashed and it hasn't been resolved yet." I was in Xi'an last year. It was also smashed, and no one cared afterwards. After I posted the video, the network police asked me to delete it. If you can't control the thief, can't you control us? Create a false situation of harmony in the whole society. A nation in crisis as joblessness reaches alarming heights. Where will Chinese young generation go?
In China, a shocking number of young people are forced to sleep on the streets, a heartbreaking reality that is often overlooked. This tragic situation is the result of a complex web of social, economic, and familial issues that have left countless youth without a safe place to call home. The streets are a dangerous place for these young people. They face hunger, violence, and exploitation on a daily basis. Many turn to crime or fall victim to human trafficking just to survive. The psychological toll is immense, with many suffering from trauma, depression, and addiction. It's a crisis that demands urgent attention and action. These young people deserve a chance at a better life with access to education, healthcare, and safe housing. But we must ask, what happened to them? What did they do to deserve this fate? I just want to ask, is it really that hard to find a job these days? I'm only 23 years old, graduated 2 years ago, and I was just laid off from a pharmacy job. I'm currently in Hefei. I worked in Hangzhou for about a year or two, and after being laid off there, I decided to move back home. I worked at a pharmacy here in Hefei for just a month before they told me not to come in anymore because their business isn't doing well, and they don't need so many employees. Why didn't they consider this before hiring? They hire people only to lay them off soon after. What's the point of this back and forth? Finding a job is tough. I've sent out my resume on various platforms, but apart from a few obvious scams, I haven't received any responses. I'm extremely anxious about not finding a job, and staying at home all day isn't a solution. The Chinese youth of today face an unprecedented challenge in their quest for employment. The once promising job market has transformed into a brutal battlefield, where even the most highly educated and qualified individuals find themselves struggling to secure a position. The situation is dire, with countless young people, including those armed with impressive degrees from top universities, finding themselves jobless upon graduation. I was born in 1995, and I'm already 30 years old. I've recently gone through a breakup and lost my job. I've been job hunting in Zhengzhou for a week now without any success. It seems like the only positions available are in sales, and I'm just not cut out for that. I'm introverted, not a good talker, and I lack communication skills. I really can't handle a sales job. I used to work in administration, but now that I'm older, I can't find administrative jobs anymore. I don't have any technical skills and feel like I'm not good at anything. I honestly don't know what kind of job I should look for. I'm feeling very lost right now. Suddenly, I feel like a complete failure. At my age, I have no partner, no car, no money, and no job. I bet there aren't many people as unsuccessful as I am. I feel like I must be the worst off among all the post-90s generation. Hey everyone, it looks like none of us can find a job, right? I can't either. I've been saying that finding a job this year would be really tough, but I didn't know just how tough until I decided to try it myself. So, I downloaded a few job hunting apps like Xi'an, Boss Zipin, and Lipin, and started applying. I've been sending out resumes since February, and it's been over a month now. Across these 3 platforms, I've sent out over 100 resumes, and I haven't received a single response. Actually, I started getting anxious about 2 weeks ago because these apps have many paid features. I began wondering if this was like a game where you have to spend money to get ahead. So I did. I paid for premium resume services on Xi'an, resume boosting on Lipin, and priority viewing on Boss Zipin. I spent over 1,000 yuan. Half a month has passed and I still haven't heard back. The competition for decent employment is fiercer than ever before. In cities like Beijing, it is estimated that around 100,000 applicants are vying for a single mid to high-level position. This staggering figure means that for every desirable job opening, thousands of desperate job seekers are fighting tooth and nail to stand out from the crowd and secure the position. The odds are heavily stacked against them, and the immense pressure to distinguish themselves from their peers is taking a heavy toll on their mental well-being. I want to ask everyone why they are having trouble finding jobs. The other day, I posted a video mentioning the graduates from 18 who haven't found a job yet. It turns out there are still 18,920 people who say they haven't found jobs. We shouldn't rush. It's 24 now, and it's been about 5 to 6 years since the 18 graduates. Approaching 30, it probably isn't easy to find work at this age. Seeing so many people struggling to find jobs, I need to pose a question: is it because of societal structural issues more graduates chasing fewer jobs, or is it due to deficiencies in our own abilities? Let me tell you a joke: there's no longer a boss on boss Xi'an, because even the bosses are looking for jobs. Here are 3 harsh statistics to consider next month. 1.79 million university graduates will be job hunting. Boss Xi'an exceeded its performance expectations in the first quarter of this year with 4.9 million new users. In the first quarter of this year, the vacancy rate for grade office buildings in Shenzhen reached 30%. Put these together and think about it. Some might say, no problem, if I can't find a job, I'll just drive for Didi, but the reality is that this low-barrier, low-skill job market is already saturated. The fallback options for workers are dwindling. Currently, the number of registered ride-hailing drivers in China exceeds 100 million, with more than 20,000 new drivers joining every day. Even the authorities couldn't help but issue a warning: the ride-hailing capacity is already saturated. We are so screwed. Even those who have gone above and beyond in their educational pursuits, such as studying abroad at prestigious universities, are not immune to the harsh realities of the job market. Many international students return to China with high hopes and dreams of landing their ideal job, only to be met with a sobering reality. Despite their impressive qualifications and global experience, they often find themselves in the same boat as their domestically educated counterparts, struggling to secure employment in an oversaturated market. Don't naively think that just because you graduate, you'll definitely find a job. Next month, 1.79 million poor, young, and hard-working college students will graduate. Last year, out of the 1.58 million graduates from the classes of 2023, only 57.6% found employment. This means that half of the 1.58 million graduates from those 2 classes did not find jobs. Now, 1.79 million new graduates are entering the job market, creating unprecedented employment pressure. At the same time, companies are laying off employees on a large scale, and there are fewer and fewer job positions available. Despite this, 4.9 million new users have registered on Boss Xi'an, a job recruitment platform, resulting in a huge number of people competing for a limited number of jobs. Most of these positions are low-paying and have poor prospects, not to mention civil service exams and other tests, where the situation is equally grim. The joke about 2023 graduates having a monthly salary of 350 yuan is just that, a joke, because the reality is that in 2024, new graduates are only earning 35 USD per month. The devaluation of degrees is also an issue. So, do you still think that graduation guarantees a job? The situation is particularly bleak for graduates of certain programs, such as finance master's degrees from top universities in Shanghai. In some cases, the employment rate for these graduates is a shockingly low 40 to 50%, meaning that half of these highly educated individuals, who have invested countless hours and resources into their education, are left without a job. The once promising return on investment for their education has plummeted, leaving many in a state of despair and frustration, wondering if their sacrifices were worth it. Here's a harsh truth for everyone: college graduates are struggling to find jobs not because their education isn't sufficient, but because what they learn in school isn't applicable in the real world or in the business sector. The high unemployment rate among college graduates is largely the responsibility of universities because they fail to equip students with the necessary job skills. In other words, much of what is taught in college is irrelevant to the needs of companies and society. Throughout your 4 years in college, you are constantly told that a degree is crucial. While it is important, no one tells you that the ultimate goal of obtaining a degree is to secure a job. No one informs you that what you are learning is not what businesses need. No one advises you to prepare for the job market while still in school, to learn more about employment trends, company requirements, and job opportunities related to your major. Almost all college students go through this experience after completing their studies. They realize they haven't learned anything practical. They don't understand the purpose of their studies or how their major is relevant. People reassure you not to worry, saying that as a freshman you're only learning the basics. But by sophomore year you realize that what you're learning is disconnected from real-world applications. To make matters worse, the ongoing of mass business closure and economic downturn have only exacerbated the already dire situation. Many companies struggling to stay afloat have been forced to lay off employees or freeze hiring altogether. This has further reduced the already limited pool of job opportunities, leaving even fewer options for the growing number of job seekers. Even those lucky enough to find work are often forced to settle for positions far below their qualifications, with low salaries and little room for growth or advancement. The desperation among job seekers is palpable, with stories of highly educated individuals resorting to taking on basic, low-skilled jobs just to make ends meet. It is not uncommon to hear of PhD graduates from top universities applying for low-ranking civil servant positions or joining urban management teams, jobs that they would have never considered before. While these positions may offer a modicum of stability, they are a far cry from the ambitious careers that these young people had envisioned for themselves. One of the main reasons for the phenomenon is that there is a growing disconnect between the skills taught in schools and the actual demands of employers. Many graduates find themselves ill-prepared for the realities of the job market, lacking the practical skills and experience that companies are looking for. This skills gap only adds to the frustration and disillusionment felt by job seekers as they struggle to bridge the divide between their education and the requirements of the workforce.